right, my homies, friends and fam. Mm, love that coffee. So, if you're ready to party, hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Every single video, including now, and you know I appreciate it. So, we're going to get started here with the fantasy report. Um, the bust report, man, for wide receivers. I'm going to hit you with 3 top ones you need to avoid, not at all costs. You know, it just at their ADP. You just can find better options, and some of them I do actually say you got to avoid at all costs. So, leading the way here is let's just go start at the top. All right, Jarvis Landry. Now, here's the thing about Jarvis Landry. Here we got 4 straight seasons where he's averaged 100 receptions every single year. He hasn't got 100 every year, but if you averaged him, he's right near 100 every single year since he was drafted. So that sounds pretty good, right? But he, until last year, only had 4 touchdowns in his previous 2 years, and one of them was 5, and the other 2 of the years was 4. That means last year was an exceptional year for touchdowns. He more than doubled his touchdown. You might even be thinking that's a good thing. That's a rarity. Okay, and that was on a completely different offense. Now he's on a whole new offense, and he's not the number 1 anymore. We all know Josh Gordon's the number 1. Now, he can definitely mess that up, and if he does mess it up, Landry's going to be a gold mine. But until then, he's basically just a number 2 wide receiver on that team. And he's not going to be used to stretch the field. That's Josh Gordon's role. I don't even know if Josh Gordon, messes up and he's out of the NFL, if Landry will even inherit that role. That might be someone else's role because Landry dominates the middle of the field. He's just that good in the middle of the field. He's basically unstoppable. But can they deliver? So the report here on Landry, I already mentioned, first of all, he's going to be second to Josh Gordon. That's totally different than last year or any other year he was in the NFL. He's the number 2 wide receiver now. That is not to be underestimated or understated. Now, secondly, Tyrod Taylor, this is a different quarterback. He's not a volume thrower. Okay, he's the type of player that he's not very accurate. He has low volume, and when he sees a chance to throw up a 50-50 ball, he usually doesn't throw it. He tucks it and runs, and he's safe, okay? But that's not good for fantasy. That's just good for, average quarterback in the NFL. So Tyrod Taylor, the low volume, bad accuracy, and not throwing up those 50-50 balls. He's also got Njoku there, who he's going to have to deal with because he's a pass-catching tight end. He's got to get balls. That's the whole point of him being in the offense. He's not going to be a run blocker most of the time. So you've got a lot of mouths to feed, and then they're going to run the ball. They've got a lot of running backs. They even invested a high pick in running backs. So they're going to want to run the ball. It just means there's less and less opportunities for Landry to even get to his last year's numbers. So I don't expect him to. That's pretty much the story on him. I love his history. He's got 100 receptions, but until last year, he's used as a possession receiver, and they chop you up with him. He'd be great on New England. But anyways, so stay away from Landry. There's just no way he's going to be able to keep his receptions where they are, his amount of receptions. His touchdowns are going to go back down, and without the touchdowns, he's really not that great for fantasy, right? Now, secondly, Julio. Here's where I'm going to get the hate, right? Here's where I'm going to get all the hate. But here, look, I got him ranked low. I got him ranked like wide receiver 7. And some people got him ranked as like 3rd overall in the entire draft, which is nuts. But just to give you an idea of some of what you're going to have to deal with if you had him just last year. Okay, he had 9 games of 13 or less points in fantasy. Okay, 9 games where he scored 13 or less. So that wasn't really worth a number 1 pick, all right? And he had 1 game where he scored 50 points. He blew up. That was in week 12. If you were even in contention by then, if it even helped you, who knows? 1 game of 24 points and 1 game of 21 points. So basically 3 good games, and 2 of them were 21 and 24, which is good for a wide receiver, right? It's not Antonio Brown numbers or anything. He only did 3 good games all year. So, yeah, add to that, now they've added Calvin Ridley, their first-round pick. You really think he's going to get more receptions with Calvin Ridley on the team? He will get less, Okay, he might be a little bit higher quality. Maybe he'll have more one-on-ones or something. But now I'm going to add this. They have a renewed commitment to the run in Atlanta, especially after that Super Bowl where they should have ran the ball. I think they did learn something. And Devonta Freeman healthy, Tevin Coleman healthy. They are going to be featuring the run and even breaking Tevin Coleman out in wide receiver sets. And so all this factors into less touches for Julio, less consistency. And if you could even get any less consistent than just 3 good games, you know, you were pretty much screwed last year if you had Julio Jones. And if you reach for him again this year, where he's going, you're going to be screwed. It's not that I don't like Julio Jones, it's just that I'm not drafting him, okay? Because no one else is going to let him fall as far as I will. So he'll never be available for me. 4 points in week 13 he did last year. So in week 13, which is the week just before playoffs, when you really need that last win, he got you 4 points. 4. It's your number 1 pick, okay? Then if you did make the playoffs, his next game, he got you 8 points. Or your second game of your playoff matchup, he got you 8 points. Okay, this is what you want to stay away from. So, yeah, stories out there on Julio. I just laid it out there, all right? Now, number 3 is Cooks. Okay, this one's kind of obvious, but you know what he's doing. He's basically took over the Watkins role. And let's go over the Watkins role real quick. He had only 39 receptions last year. He did pretty good with it. He got almost 600 yards and 8 touchdowns and only 39 receptions. That means if maybe you had doubled his receptions, if he got as many as Landry got, which is over 100, he should have scored 16, 17 touchdowns. So he did good with, you know, Watkins did good with his role. But now Cooks is taking over that role. And 39 receptions? Nah. Yeah, Cooks had 6 games of 7 or less points. And that was with Tom Brady. 6 games of 7 or less with Tom Brady. Now you think that he's going to join Jared Goff and get a lot more, taking over the Sammy Watkins role that only got 39 receptions? I don't think so, my friend. He's a bust waiting to happen as far as fantasy goes. So that's it, man. Make sure you hit the like button every time, including now if you're ready to party. All right? I'm going to come at you with some more picks, and the most valuable thing in fantasy is knowing things that other people don't know. So, scared money doesn't make money. All right, my man, go ahead and tell me what I missed, or if you disagree, come at me, bro.